Yes, I did enough to win, but I want to do more.
I do. I do believe I'm a better boxer, but he has shown grit. He's shown toughness. He's shown like he does the basics very well. But I do believe that my boxing IQ and toughness as well, and I got a good chin.
With only a few days left in one of the most exhilarating Riyadh season cards in the history of boxing, the fighters are amped up and ready to declare war on fight night. Meanwhile, many renowned analysts and boxing personalities have shared their outlook on this excellent card. Russ Anber, who is acclaimed as one of the most professional and adept reports in the game, has expressed his delight at this event, stating that although countless other fights have been orchestrated around the globe, the bouts that are organized in Riyadh by His Excellency are some of the most extravagant as well as lucrative events that have ever been made.
We see, and you're witness to this, when the fights are held in Saudi, no one's worried about anything. Like, you're not worried about your accommodation, transport, food, nothing, you know? And I think that's a great way for the professional athletes to feel, especially as how great as they are in the quality of the fights that are being held there, that they can go into a fight feeling that comfortable. And I think that's...
This praise coming from anyone could be considered spectacular, but from someone like Russ, who has been a participant in some of the greatest fights in the history of the sport, this commandment goes on to show the marvelous nature of these fights and the meaningful impact that it seems to have on the overall combat genre. However, one criticism that Russ seemed to have regarding this entire arrangement, despite the onslaught of praise, was that all these fighters are worthy of being marketed as their own proper main cards, which could have allowed fresh and aspiring fighters to get the spot of undercard, where they could have not only gotten a once-in-a-lifetime chance of performing in front of wide audiences, but it could have also propelled their status to all new heights in their respective divisions.
What I'm actually sad about is that this card, and everybody talked to me about, wow, what a great card this is. It's actually 7 great cards that are being wasted on one. And we could have had 7 amazing fight nights, because every one of those fights is worthy of its own main event, which would have opened up doors to so many other fighters being on that undercard. Instead, we've deprived those fighters of that opportunity.
To further emphasize his rather distinct idea, Russ talked about the highly awaited Callum Smith versus Joseph Buatsi fights, which, although being a very acclaimed fight at the Riyadh season platform, deserved its own event in the heart of the UK, which comprises of the core audience who are excited to witness this epic showdown commence. Along with this, Russ also stated that although many people will be paying hefty sums of money to see this fight, it could have been much more profitable and enjoyable for the die-hard fans if it was arranged at the location that the fighters had wanted it to be, because based on the countless statements that have been issued by Callum in the past, the fighter has been quite intrigued about fighting in his homeland and giving his core supporters a wonderful show.
And now you're going to have Callum and Buatsi in a great, you know, UK showdown, a great UK show, which we haven't had. And Callum's been looking for that great UK showdown for years now, and we haven't had that. And I think we missed that opportunity to have that. It's a great fight. But I think it's going to be a great fight, and I hope the people there are going to be in there early enough to watch it, not just wait for Beterbiev and Bivol.
Shifting his attention to another main event that might be the highlight for the English fans is the highly anticipated brawl between the now famous and elite fighter Dubois and Joseph Parker. Sharing his thoughts on this fight, Russ explained that even though the public might be in support of one of the fighters, one thing that cannot be ignored in a fight like this is that both of them are quite equally matched and will pose a major threat to one another regardless of who might be bigger or who performed better in their last fight. Adding on to his opinion, Russ shared an in-depth analogy stating that looking at either fighter, there are points that both of them have that can be used to their advantage while entering this fight. Looking at the more experienced and seasoned fighter, out of the two, there is no doubt that Joseph has the upper hand when it comes to experience and overall boxing IQ based on his vast portfolio, where he has fought some of the most brutal fighters, whereas the younger fighter Daniel, despite being one of the most promising talent from the last couple decades who has proven himself as a great fight, there is still some risk that he might fall short during his pursuit to greatness.
Parker's in tough as well there.
Well, of course he's in tough, but so is Dubois. Joseph Parker is, I think, a little bit of a bogeyman in the division. They call Bacoli a bogeyman, but I think Joseph Parker can fight. Joseph Parker is a dangerous guy. He's well trained. He has skills. He has experience. His whole career is coming together. He's looked just outstanding in recent times. He's had great wins. The Wilder win when everybody wasn't so sure that he was going to win, proved to be massive. You know, I think it showed just how good he is. And I'm not sure that Dubois is out of the woods yet. You know, it's a dangerous fight. It's a difficult fight. It's not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination, I don't think, for either guy.
Keeping these same particular factors in mind and applying them to the main event, which has become the talk of the town, Russ stated his own possible strategies that Bivol can utilize to secure a victory this time around. Venturing to their last meeting, the veteran reporter commented that even though Beterbiev secured a spectacular victory for himself and gained one of the best titles in the sport, his erfomps in terms of overall boxing was not as applaudable as that of Bivol, because in the middle rounds and even in the start of the fight, he did not display anything solid to the fans, which might have aided him in cementing his win more in the eyes of the general public.
I believe that Beterbiev can improve on his last performance. I don't think we saw Beterbiev at his best. I think he had surgery on the knee. He wasn't coming back, you know, wasn't as forceful as he usually is. He seemed to be a lot more conservative. I personally gave him the edge at the end of the fight. I thought he closed out the last 3 rounds quite solid. I thought he showed that he was able to hurt Bivol. I think he can improve on his performance.
Now, although Russ believes that Beterbiev could have done way better than the performance he displayed during the first fight, one thing that seems to be the deciding factor is his sheer power and brawn, which if applied properly can change the tide of the fight, and that is exactly what ended up happening. So the most crucial aspect for Bivol would be to improve himself in such a way that he can not only perform at his utmost best, but that he can also restrict Beterbiev as much as possible. Praising the Russian fighter for the outstanding performance he had last time, Russ added that although Bivol's style is quite pristine and flawless for the spectators this time around, he has to add a little more finesse and tenacity behind his every move so that he can win this time around.
Difficult to say. I'm not sure how much more he can improve on his performance. I think he boxed an excellent fight. I'm not sure what alternatives he can come up with. Bivol's going to have to come up with something. He's going to have to pull something out of the hat to come up with a better performance than overtake whatever Beterbiev brings to the table. So, but at least it's a great fight. At least the rematch is made, and that's great for boxing.
With many people in the industry sharing somewhat the same notion regarding Beterbiev's performance last time around, a shift in narrative is being observed where many people believe that Bivol might end up winning this time around based on how he is not only the younger fighter, but he also seems to be filed by a vengeance this time around that might help him to push Beterbiev to the back, forcing the vicious fighter to yield under pressure. However, not affected by this incessant criticism and skepticism surrounding his performance and his subsequent victory, the Chechen fighter recently cleared up the air regarding the first fight's results, stating that although it was a great fight, it was not as close as many people make it out to be.
It was a good fight, like, not bad.
Good fight. Close fight.
No, close fight.
Okay.
You say close fight?
No, was it a close fight? I'm asking. Was it easy fight, close fight?
Looking forward to ending this upcoming fight with a more resounding victory as compared to the last one, Beterbiev stated that although at the end of the day, he is confident about his win, this time in the rematch he desires to leave no doubt in anyone's mind that he is the better fighter of the two and that he won the fight based on merit and hard work, unlike the unsavory claims that he was handed the victory due to biases of the judges.
He was going to be announced the champion?
Yes, I did enough to win, but I want to do more.
Another factor that the fighter highlighted during his recent interviews was that due to his rather quiet and reserved nature, especially when it comes to talking about his fights and training, many people tend to overlook him believing that he might be having doubts about himself as well, which is far from reality because in this professional field, not everything can be revealed to the public, considering how certain game plans are crafted solely for disarming their opponents. Focusing only on the fight at hand, Beterbiev refused to divulge in any regimes he might be partaking in for the fight by commenting that although their fate is unknown and that no one really knows how the fight will end, both of them will make sure that they give their best on February 22nd.
You know, with my team we will learn something. Like we will learn more this time during the camp. You know, and. Like some details I can't tell you. I don't know, like we'll see, but my focus is the same. I'm preparing for.
Also not allowing the past to affect his performance this time around, Bivol has also been clear regarding his position before going into the rematch by making countless statements on how he does not think that Beterbiev was handed the decision due to any favor, but he won because at that night he was better than him. Hoping to change this outcome, the Russian fighter went on by stating that although he did not appreciate the loss and was quite devastated in the days leading up to it, considering how it was the first ever failure in the entirety of his professional career, he is aware of the fact that he has been given a golden chance to get back his lost glory, and no matter what, he will not allow this opportunity slide away.
Not too much. Not too much. Of course, I don't like to hear that former world champion or ex-world champion or I have one loss. I don't like it, but I cannot think too much about it. I just don't have time to think about it and to pity myself about it. Just I don't like it. I want to move forward. Yeah, it happened. Okay, let's close this door, move forward.
Bivol, despite his outward civil response to this loss, seems to have hit a certain point in his career where the fighter is more locked in than ever and is ready to tear down his opponent at every cost. Expressing his desire in the interview, the stoic fighter stated that this time around he has no time to waste because the mission that awaits him is far more serious and great than anything that he has ever faced before, but due to his strenuous hard work, tenacious spirit, along with the constant fire of vengeance burning inside of him, he is confident that he will be declared as the victor in this upcoming rematch, and NK threat posed by Beterbiev will stop him in his pursuit of reclaiming his lost spot.
I want revenge. I want to be winner. I want to win him. But I mean that I lost and I don't like it. I want to win. I want to prove myself that I could win him. I have to be better in all positions. Everything I have to do better. I have to be better Dmitry Bivol than today.
Moving on, being on the same page as his fellow fighter, Joseph Parker also sat down for an interview recently where he explained how even with all the odds that are stacked against him in this fight, according to the countless analysts who might be undermining him, there is no doubt that he will not go down without a fight, and no matter what happens, he will give the best performance of his career and will beat down one of the most dangerous opponents in his career. Now, although Joseo touched on the fact that Daniel is in the most active state of his career and that, according to some, he might be the stronger guy, according to the Kiwi fighter, one thing that many people might have failed to notice is that he too is in the optimal state of his career and has been patiently waiting for a challenge like this to showcase the world that he is indeed still the great fighter that he once was.
I know that Daniel Dubois is high in confidence and he should be with the performances he put on, but I've been working very, very hard quietly in New Zealand. I went to Ireland and trained, and now I'm here in Saudi Arabia. And I've been waiting for this opportunity, I've been waiting for this chance, and been waiting for a big fight. This is my time now to go out there and show everyone what I've been doing while I've been waiting for a fight, and it's my chance to be two-time world champion. So I'm taking it with both hands. I'm very excited for this opportunity, and I know Daniel Dubois is going to come ready, but I am as well.
Labeling himself as a far better boxer than his opponent, Joseph claimed that no matter what, his chances of winning this fight are far more than Daniel based on his immaculate skills and attributes that overshadow anything that Dubois might possess. He ventured on how, after years of fighting some of the most fierce fighters, one important aspect that he has learned is that defense is as crucial as offense, especially if you are up against heavy hitters like Daniel, who are renowned for their ability to land countless earth-shattering as well as precise jabs at their opponents. Recalling his run-ins with the likes of Wilder and Zhang, Joseph also talked about the significance of a good chin and how under certain circumstances this single attribute might contribute to either your victory or your downfall.
I do believe I'm a better boxer, but he has shown grit, he's shown toughness, he's shown he does the basics very well. But I do believe that my boxing IQ and toughness as well, and I got a good chin that shouldn't be tested, or hopefully not tested with Dubois landing good shots, but it'll be tested come February 22 because with Zhang and Wilder, they were good fights, but Dubois throws way more punches, he comes forward, a lot more pressure, and he throws punches and bunches, so we're prepared for that version of what he's going to bring.
Adding on to his claims, Joseph once again reiterated his past claims on how, after all the brutal dismissal that he has faced in the last couple of months leading up to this fight, he is ready to show the world that he is capable enough to beat down fighters who are younger and stronger than him. Because after years of experience in the field, and after fighting some of the most vicious fighters that the heavyweight division has ever seen, he has garnered skills that aid him in taking beating down anyone in their path. While issuing countless threats toward towards his opponent, Joseph emphasized that although he might have some respect for Daniel considering his sheer determination, on fight night he will have no mercy for the fighter and will annihilate him in such a way that he might not be able to recover from this loss, as he might have done in the past.
I do stand by that. However, he has shown the ability to go through hard times in the recent fights he's had. But if times do get hard, can he still maintain that ability, or does he revert back to type? So I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings, but I know what I'm going to bring as well. Speed, power, accuracy, movement, and I'm very confident in what I can do in the ring.
However, not agreeing with the points raised by Jospe and believing them to be disrespectful, Daniel shared his take on the fight, stating that even after years of laboring away and winning one spectacular fight after another, he is still being painted as an unprofessional fighter who is not adept or capable enough to win a big fight against someone like Joseph Parker. Tired of this image of being the underdog, Daniel emphasized that he will be coming at this challenge with the same warrior mentality that he had done countless times before, and that he will make sure that this performance on the fateful night of February 22nd would serve as a reminder for the fans as well as his critics that he is a good fighter who deserves the spot where he is at right now, considering how he not only managed to destroy one of the best fighters in the heavyweight division, but also for the fact that he is being championed as one of the most brutal hitters of this generation.
Yeah, I'm still hungry for more success and more victories, more belts. So I still feel like the underdog, and in my mind, I'm going out there to, yeah, still same mentality and still the same old dog and make it a dog fight out there.
So, at the end of this whole scenario, what are your thoughts on this Riyadh season card? Do you believe that the claims about it being the best ever card in the history of the sport are justified? Or do you believe that people might be overhyping this event and that it might not reach the expectations that people have set so far? And what are your thoughts on the matchups in this card, especially the highly awaited rematch between two of the best light heavyweight fighters of this generation? Make sure to tell us about your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to our channel.